right? So I got a ton of new stuff for the channel for filming, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. But two of the things, one is a new lens. So like, as you can see, it looks more like bubble-eyed in the room. It's gonna give you like a bigger view. So when I'm in the garden and stuff, it's just gonna give you a bigger view in general. Couldn't figure out how to install that. And then I also got a like heavy duty tripod that's going to stand up in the wind, because I was having so many issues this year in the garden, because for whatever reason, Saskatchewan's now a windy place to be. I have no idea why. But what ended up happening was it kept on like tipping over on me. So I was like using rocks and stuff to try to hold it all in place, none of which worked. So I got like a camera, like heavy duty tripod. It goes like 6 feet tall and whatever else. And it has a bag weight in the middle. So I can actually like place a bag on a hook and it will like hold it down. Anyways, I had to set it up, but I did leave the lights to set up with you guys, because I also got lights for filming indoors. Obviously it's winter now, so it's going to be more theory based info or videos. So I got some really nice professional light setups. I'm just gonna make sure there's dust on there. Hopefully you guys can't see that. Anyways, you'll have to let me know what this all looks like. Saskatchewan is a windy dust bowl. One is planting cover crop. Yeah, we don't plant cover crops here. We don't normally have enough of a rest period after the crops are off or before the crops are put in the ground where plants can grow. The exception to that was actually this year, where it has not snowed yet. So last year we already had, I think, like 3 feet of snow. It was actually snowstorm this day a year ago. Massive snowstorm that shut the city down. This year's not like that, and it's so crazy because it was a drought year in Saskatchewan. So yields were really low. Some places didn't even germinate. And then August, September, end of August, beginning of September, it rained and it rained and it rained, and all the seeds that were in the farmers' fields actually germinated. And now that we have an extended season, it's kind of crazy because people have already harvested. And once they harvested and lifted the crop up, the seeds got light, water, everything, and they were like blooming in mid-October. And honestly, if it continues to stay warm in some areas, who knows, you may even get a second harvest. But that's how, like, it's a noticeable difference, like how much didn't germinate. It's just crazy to me. So, but I hate how they always make me, YouTube always makes me like go through the comments and like reopen it. It's not just live on there. So any hoosers, I got a short cord. Maybe I should put it on the top of my jacket. Oh God. Okay, hopefully I won't rip it down now. But I got some really crazy lights. Actually, I'll show you what I first got. You guys are gonna love what the content's gonna look like going forward. I got lenses, which is crazy because I know nothing about filming or anything. I'm having to learn so many things with YouTube. And then I got actual studio lights, which are supposed to be fitting in here, but they're supposed to be two. So I don't understand how quite that's gonna work, but anyways, if you guys, you should let me know if any of you have actually done your spring bulbs yet, or what you're doing for spring bulbs, or if you're not doing any. I haven't planted mine yet. That's bad. I know, it's horrible, but I have to get to it. But yeah, I like literally went Amazon crazy this last little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And I bought so much stuff. And I've done it all because I really want to start doing like higher quality films and higher quality videos for you guys. Same frequency, 3 times a week, whatever sort of thing. But I just thought it was time to invest in the quality of what's coming out. I also got a new editing software. So I apologize for like the next few videos and what they look like. I'm not a techie person. I'm slightly concerned it's not going to be like the best, but we'll see. We'll get through it. On a grow tent supplies, yeah. Like Christmas for plants. Exactly, Christmas for plants. Not the only, yeah. I've spent so much money on grow stuff. Like, it's insane. And food prep stuff too. I bought like, well, for the wedding I got stuff too, but dehydrator. I got a vacuum sealer. I don't know if you guys have ever used that before, but I got that as well. I'm excited to use it, mostly for meat because hunting season's coming up for Saskatchewan right now. And so we hunt in our house and fish and whatever else. But yeah, I need something to process meat with. Last year, I just did like, last year was the last year I was processing meat in the way that I was processing it, because it was, I got a deer and then Bob got a deer, and it was just too much to do the conventional way. And so I ended up buying like a ton of stuff for that too, because yeah. Oh, no, Perrier. Yes. Get a soda stream. That's what I got. I have a soda stream. That's what I used. If you use that with spring water, technically that's identical to Perrier, or the no-name Perrier, of course, would be the same too. Actually, I really like the soda streams. You can buy, in Saskatchewan anyways, they're really good at London Drugs about you bringing your old CO2 cartridge in and exchanging it. And when I initially bought the CO2 cartridges, I was like, oh my God, this is so expensive, like $45 every single time I buy a cartridge. Once you do the exchange, it comes out to like 20 bucks. It's nothing compared to what it was. My chair has roly-oly-polies on it. Oh, also, another reason for the live stream, before I take out my poor allocation behind me, so as you guys may know, some of you may know, I have a podcast that I never post on, mostly because I was super busy this summer just with everything else. Don't start a blog and a podcast at the same time. Highly not recommended. But what I ended up doing, or what I've pondered on, is doing like a call-in show. So more of almost like a radio type show, if that makes sense. So I want to do Zoom calls for anyone who wants to like show their face. And then I want to have email messaging calls for anyone who doesn't want to show their face and just wants to message. But then I also started a call-in line where you can send me a voice message just over the internet. You can use a smartphone, a computer, tablet, you name it, and you click the link, you record your voice memo with your question on it, and then you send it to me. It lets me know that you guys sent me a message. So I put that link in the description of this video. If you want to leave me a voice message with your questions or whatever you have, and then once I get enough questions to make an hour-long show, I will do that. So if that comes out to like once every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever the case is, I'm not going to put the content on this channel. I started a second channel called Gardening in Canada Podcast. I don't know if it shows up in search yet or not. I should have put the link for that too. So if you are going to watch it on YouTube, that's where it will be. But otherwise, you can literally find it anywhere. It's on Spotify, iTunes, you name it, you can find it. It's super easy to find. I saw a message pop up on here. I built myself a pressure cooker. No way. Are you actually serious? Darcy, can you send me the link to that if you have it? I actually really, really, really want a pressure cooker super duper bad, but they're like $460 for anything that's gonna process what I need it to. Like you can get like $100 ones at like Canadian Tire, but they're literally the same size as like a stew pot. Like they're not big. I would say you can maybe fit 4 cans. And if I'm processing an entire deer, 2 deers this year again, no, that's like the end of my life. I'm not gonna take these out, but I was watching YouTube videos, guys, and these are valuable. These are supposed to reflect light back into my face. It's supposed to give a nice ambiance. Maybe next time you guys are on here, it's just going to look like a pro studio. I'm just kidding. It's probably not going to, but I'm going to give it a goals honest try, attempt at it. Oh, these are my light things, I guess. Ta-da! Yeah, so I literally got like the studio lights, you guys. I'm not joking when I said I went all out. All for you guys. Don't you feel loved? I would never just have this in my house. Oh God, it's like a full-blown umbrella. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to, you guys would actually laugh so hard if you saw my setup before. I had like a half-ass Wish ring light stuck to Ella's cage with like a clip thing, and then I had a reptile terrarium light like right here, kind of like blasting in my face. I'm sure you could tell. Hopefully that's not gonna like pick up too much on the mic. But then, and then I had, you know, the TV tables, like the old school TV tables you'd sit at the couch with to eat dinner with. That was literally like my desk area. It was comical. It was actually comical. I had one of my husband's best friends, his girlfriend. Her mom apparently watches my channel quite a bit. So Haley, if you're watching, or Haley's mom, if you're watching, hello. And she came in and she looked at the room that I filmed in, because it's like, my entrance is like right there, and you walk in and it's got these like French doors. You literally can like look right into this room. And she's like, oh, this is where you film. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what a setup. Yeah, it's a thing. I honestly don't know if I can set this up with you guys on the screen. This actually might prove to be difficult. I don't even know what's, you know what I didn't think of? Does this thing come with light bulbs? That's the first question I should have asked myself. I feel like these are probably the light bulbs. There's Bronco. He's my old pup. Oh yeah, these are the light bulbs. These are huge. Oh my God. When I can't see anymore, this is the reason why. This is huge. I have never in my life seen a light this big. Oh my goodness. What have I gotten myself into? Oh no. Okay. Well, that's okay. We shall see. My husband's work too right now. He works for CP, so he's not here all the time. And he's gonna come home to this room having like studio lights in it. And he's gonna be like, what the heck is going on? Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Look at those houseplants, wonderful view. I know, I like redid this whole room. This isn't even all of them. There's a whole bunch, like, there's a whole bunch more behind you guys. And my living room, I have a piano, that whole top of that's covered. Like the corner by my fireplace is covered. Then I got another window over there that's covered. And then I have the cuttings on like a different windowsill. I've got plants coming out the wazoo. The wazoo. And it's funny because I don't spend much on plants. I just have really old plants that I've had my entire life. Some of them literally my entire life. So I've had some plants since I was like 15 that are in this house still. And I'd say I spend $100 a year on houseplants, all of which I buy as imports. Some of which make it, some of which don't. I actually haven't had really bad luck with anything dying yet. But yeah, I do like one order a year for $100. And it's like a group order that I do with some ladies in Saskatoon. And that's it. That's all I spend on houseplants. I'm not I'm a collector, but I'm very picky in what I like, and I like what I like. So what I have in my house is what I'm happy with. I find that when I'm bringing lots of houseplants in the house nonstop, what ends up happening is I end up with a lot of disease or a lot of sickness in general, because plants just don't, they're not meant to be transported and be in large groups and come into other houses. You have to do it right. You have to do it right. Hello, Aria's garden. You'll go blind. Yes, I will. Dead serious. I don't have a link, but I can take pics and send you. Please do, Darcy. Please do. Did you ever buy your microscope yet? No, Michael, I have not. But my friend, who's a soil scientist, actually I graduated with her. She has a brand for me to buy. So what the plan for the channel is I'm going to set this up as an official, hi, I'm AKA. Oh, hey, how's it going? I know who you are. So my plan for the channel is, what is this contraption? ADHD brain to the max. The plan for the channel is that I'm going to have a new camera, a new computer, and a microscope, probably beginning to mid 2022. And the reason for that is because I'm going to actually set this up. Oh, this is how this works. I'm book smart, not street smart, just so we're clear, everyone. So I'm going to have, okay, I get it. I'm going to get all that stuff at once, I think, fingers crossed, or like over time. But I'm going to set it up as a business. So like a legitimate business. And that's what's going to help me get more funding and stuff for that sort of thing. Because I'm not sure if you know this, but cameras and all the equipment, editing software, licenses, like for my website, like my blog and stuff, seriously, I don't think you guys realize, it is so expensive to run this sort of stuff. It's weird, honestly. Like, it gets you hooked because it's like, oh, free content for 3 months or 6 months. My fat dog's in the way. But then it ends and it's all over with. So it's a bit of a nightmare when it comes to cost-wise. My name Mustache. How's it going, Bob? You guys want an awesome pepper channel? An awesome pepper channel. Bobby from the Mighty Mustache. He's the guy to go to. He overwinters peppers. He grows very hot peppers, and he eats very hot peppers. We don't know why. He clearly has an issue, a big issue, but he's got awesome content. Always asking questions, always want to, okay, which tomato bed won, the humic acid one? Okay, so funny story. I've mentioned this in some videos in passing, so I would understand why not everyone knows the results of that. Tomato bed results are surprising. The conventional bed with conventional fertilizer, I did use mulch still in the conventional bed because it was a drought year. I had to conserve water in some way, shape, or form. So the conventional, I guess organic hybrid bed produced more tomatoes, but, big but here, small tomatoes. So I planted beefsteaks, and I would say they were like the size of a Roma, absolute max size of a Roma, and they were beefsteak tomatoes. I know they were. I know what I planted. I know what I plant every single year. So they were either, and they were shaped like beefsteak too. So either I got a packet of tomatoes that just went into the conventional bed that were labeled incorrectly from the supplier, which honestly is quite impossible, or the conventional bed yielded really, really small tomatoes. And I think the reason why the conventional bed yielded really small tomatoes was because it was a drought year. And so when you're using synthetic fertilizers in the absence of enough moisture or cooler temperatures, you can end up with nutrient issues on those plants. It's just a given. Now for the humic acid conventional bed that I did, or humic acid organic, so I used Evolve, it's like it's in there, it's that black bottle, and then ketonic, which is that bottle there. So I used ketonic and I used the Evolve fertilizers. That one gave me huge tomatoes. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the photo of some of the tomatoes I pulled out of that garden. They were the size of my head. The size of my head. Not even joking. They were humongous. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, please let people know in the comments the truth about that. They are huge. And so that was all of that was coming out of the humic acid organic bed. And quite honestly, again, I think it goes back to the heat and the lack of water this year. Honestly, if your farmer's almanac is telling you that it's going to be a hot, dry year, go organic as much as possible. You can do a hybrid between the two, but go organic. It's like literally your best choice. Bobby, if you're still here, I got studio lights. You'd be so proud of me. He's also a tech geek. Like he has like professional cameras and stuff that I do not own. I do not have. Okay, top chat. Oh no, I don't want to do top chat. Live chat. I'm horrible. Good to hear. I just ordered a bottle of humic acid for my cannabis grow tents. Yes, cool. I'm going on a cannabis podcast, apparently. I can't remember what it is, and I don't want to exit off YouTube because I'm relatively confident YouTube will scream at me and cancel you guys off. But maybe he's on here right now. He messaged me this morning, so that's cool. But also, make sure you guys sign up for the online newsletter. So it's gardeningcanada.net/newsletter. If you guys sign up on there, I'm going to be doing, I'm going to work on that after I get off this with you guys. I'm going to work on getting a discount code ready for the planners because the Gardening Canada planners are ready. I'm waiting for mine to come in from Amazon, but I'm going to have a discount code for the printable PDF ones. And I don't think I can do a discount code for the Amazon ones. Unfortunately, Jeff Bezos wants all his money, so I can't do anything about that. So for the paperback ones, there isn't much I can do about that. I apologize. However, they look so good. I worked so hard on those. They literally took months. Okay, so I might have put this too tall. Oh God. You have to let me know if there's any other YouTubers on here besides Bobby, because I'm gonna need help learning how to edit with this, store this stuff on there. Should we plug him in, you guys? He reminds me of like the Pixar. Actually, I have no idea how to get this to stay open. Oh no. Is a secret in here? Or is a secret somewhere else? Maybe these have to like go out. But yeah, so make sure you sign up for that newsletter if you guys want to grab that. I've gotten quite a few messages asking where the 2022 camera or planner is. And I keep on saying, it's coming, I swear. Oh, the light. The light is what holds the thing open. I've discovered it. I've discovered the secret. See, I told you, not street smart, I'm book smart. That's about it. Okay, just don't look. You know, the lights did come with instructions. They did. I saw them, actually. They're in that box over there. I don't read instructions. I feed the squirrels to my tomatoes. It's a win-win. I love squirrels. I'm proud of you. Oh, Bobby's laughing because he knows so much. He knows I'm not I'm not a film person. I'm not a photo person. I'm none of that. So having this is like a huge step for me. And I'm an all or nothing gal. And some of you who know me personally know that. So it's either I'm getting all the stuff or none of the stuff. Hence why I got $100 in lighting, over $100 in lighting, a $100 tripod, and a $100 lens kit now, all in like the same day. I literally ordered them on the same Amazon order. So that's me. That's my personality. I don't actually know. Like, is this legitimately how this works? Thank God this isn't a paid sponsorship, because this company would not be impressed with me. They'd be like, how did you do such a horrible review of our stuff? Not that it's not shitty, actually. It feels really good quality. What is it? M-Art is the brand. There is no Amazon description link in the description because I didn't even think to actually put it in there. Okay, Bobby, now do I angle this down at my face? Who's planted their garlic? Who wants to come plant my garlic? I haven't done mine yet. I haven't done my allium bulbs either. I haven't done my tulips. I'm just like really slacking here. Okay. Do I try to blind myself now? Oh, I'm sure you guys really appreciate that. Final harvest was 4.5 pounds off your pepper plant? That's insane. I didn't even know peppers could produce that much. If you were to do peppers indoors, Bobby, what would you use? Or what would you do indoors? Is there, no, that is totally don't look into it. It's really bright. Okay. I've got like cardboard in the way. Okay, I can get behind that. I've also got like a little shade thing. Okay, there we go. Again, don't look at that. To spill the light back. Oh, mine is definitely forward. But it has like these shade cloths that I didn't. My skin tone is much improved. Yeah, except for my blue light glasses that hate all things light that reflect all of it. Okay, I have another one too. So I think the other one, my understanding is that this one's supposed to come from this way. This one's supposed to come from this way. And then I'm gonna have to have like a top light in this light up here. And then I believe I have to shut off my grow lights in order to make this look like super duper good. Being beamed to heaven. No, redheads don't go to heaven. They go other places. They go, woohoo, looking good. Perfect. Okay. Like I said, I've gone hardcore. I even got like a new editing app and everything. I've gone crazy. Don't know why. You guys are worth it though. You are. I'm excited to get the microscope. I'm excited to get the laptop. And like I said, that's like the most irritating part about any sort of, like literally anything that has to do with electronics. That's what irritates me the most, is that, so you want the microscope, which I still want, and I'm saving for, but then simultaneously you need like a specific computer, and my laptop's too old for it, which is insane because my laptop's like 3 years old. But I was told that my laptop's too old for like the program for it, so I had to get a new laptop. It's just dumb. I hate that sort of stuff. I also think that I didn't clean my lens before starting the live, so like that doesn't help. Okay. Obviously that's in the way right now, but oh my gosh, that looks so good. See, that's literally, isn't that crazy what that lens does? I'm just gonna clean it for you guys real quick here. Yeah, that's crazy. So this is like literally the lens I got. That's insane. I didn't realize it was that drastic. Okay, I feel better about investing like $500 in the channel in one day now, because this actually looks really, really, really good. Plus I still have this other one, so it's gonna look stellar. I did get one more thing. I got these two. Hi from Nova Scotia. Hey, the gardening astronomer. He's also the gardening astronomer. Astronomer is, yeah, very noticeable. That's crazy. He also is very knowledgeable. Leaves awesome. You leave awesome comments on all my videos. Very well formatted and just, it's good. Good comments. I love interactive comments. Okay, so I got these, but now I'm thinking they're too big to go in the plant room for ambiance, for decor, background decor. So maybe they'll go outside, which they can go outside, because these are, what is this? Oh, they are indoor, outdoor, 53 feet in length, 15 lamp holders. So these were sent by Quntis. There's an Amazon link for these. Those were technically sent by a, not, I guess, yeah, a sponsor, I guess it would be. Didn't require me to do anything, just wanted to send me the lights to show up in videos. But they look breakable. These are very like Ashley proof because they're made out of plastic. I find these very romantic looking. If I'm being totally honest, let me plug these in. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, maybe not. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. They're ambiance, very French bistro. I can leave the link for those down below too. I don't have the link for these right now, but job for you guys today. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't, because that's where the discount codes are going to come from for the Etsy printables. If you don't want an Etsy printable and you want a paperback book, then that would be, you go to Amazon for that. And I have the link for both Etsy and the paperbacks in the link below. And then your second job is to click on the voicemail podcast link and then leave me a voicemail for the podcast. And once I collect enough of them, I'm thinking 5 per episode, then I will take those questions, I will put them onto the interwebs, and then I'll answer them. Because, and my brainchild for that was that I noticed that you guys really, really, really enjoyed the TikTok video I did, and you said it was a lot of information very quickly. And so that is kind of the reasoning behind doing that. So you can hopefully find that podcast on YouTube. You just search Gardening Canada podcast, or you can go on to Spotify or iTunes, whatever. It's all over the place. Just Gardening Canada. And yeah, you guys will have that there. I'm going to do the longer form content, like questions and that sort of thing on that channel, mostly because I find that my longer form content, like that TikTok content, don't do as well on YouTube. And then what ends up happening is YouTube punishes me and they get angry. So they see that there's really low engagement on it, and that only my loyal list of loyal subscribers, so all 21 of the folks who showed up today, are the ones who are engaging with it and interacting with it. So then my next video, they suppress it. So I thought if we can make like a separate channel for longer form content for just us to hang out on, and anyone else in the future who decides that they're highly interested in longer form content and question and answer sort of thing. I mean, that's kind of where I'm going with that, because I don't want to convolute this page too much and irritate all the new people coming in. So Michigan and Stratford. Hello. My real name is Dave. Hi, Dave. Money well spent and a tax deduction. Exactly. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? If not, I'm going to head on out and work on that newsletter I was talking about. Figure that out, because that's like not my thing. It's funny how many things I have to learn with this. It's wonderful though. I actually don't mind it. I love learning. Love, love, love learning. Now there's 23 of you. Holy macros, where are y'all coming from? Hi, Johnny. Hi, Fairy. And Arthur. Okay, well, if that's all you guys have for questions, then I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll talk to you next time. I'm glad you enjoy the new ambiance of the area. I promise the box will be gone next time. See, I didn't need instructions, Michael. I was good. I was good without the instructions. I figured it out. Took me like a solid amount of time, like 30 minutes, but I figured it out. We're good. How big of a pot should I use for cannabis indoors? Okay, good question. Again, I ask this question all the time. As big or as small as you can handle. So, what I mean by that is, if you want to water more often and you feel as though it is going to be more motivating for you to actually check up and look at your plants on a more regular basis, it's a mental game. Pot size comes to a mental game for me. So good thing those are plastic, because Bronx just threw that whole lighting system on the ground. So I guess you can see this Adansonii behind me, relatively large plant in a small pot. You can also see that Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, relatively large pot, small plant. So it's what you want to handle. Obviously the Adansonii, or I've got like that aloe over there, he's in a relatively small pot too. Actually, all these guys are in pretty small pots, speaking. If you want to babysit more and it's mentally easier for you to cause a habit of checking up on your plants, then I suggest a smaller pot. If you don't want to have to check up on your plants as often, I suggest a larger pot within reason. So if you have a larger size pot, you have to make sure that the water within that soil is being used up within a week or two, especially when we're talking about rapidly growing plants like cannabis or indoor gardening plants. So if you notice that your soil is relatively moist still after a week, your container size is too large. If you're noticing that it's drying out after a day and mentally that's too much for you, then you should bump it up. However, if it's easier for you to check in literally once a day, every day with your plants, then downsize that pot to smaller, right? So I don't have any here right now, but I have some Hoyas in terracotta pots that are really, really tiny. And so that forces me to look at those plants more often. And I will do that with all my very expensive plants. I have them in undersized pots by all means. And what I do is I will go and I will babysit them way more than I would normally babysit anything else, because it has less water to its disposal. So I need to check up on it for a little bit more often. I saw Miscilla in the group chat too. Awesome channel as well. Learn to grow. Yeah, Miscilla. Hi, Miscilla. Go check her out as well, you guys. Awesome channel. Greetings from West Virginia. Hello, West Virginia. Montreal. Hello, Montreal. Yeah, once a week. And so you have pots that are in that range, like that support that and what you need. So you just have to pick your pot based on what you're willing to deal with, right? What was the name of the podcast you're about to be on? Oh, I can't remember what it is, but I can post the link to their Instagram here, because I can't like exit YouTube. It'll freak out on me. I can check. Hold on. I'll fire this phone up and then I'll tell you what it is when this phone fires up. I might have to actually download Instagram though. That's okay. Okay, we'll get that phone started for you and then I will let you know what that podcast is. I have a YouTube channel. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I will agree. I will agree. What other questions did I have? Okay, so we got a Jerusalem artichoke. First time harvesting. How do I start these things? I have more than what will fit in the fridge. Okay, you can Jerusalem artichokes. I believe it's in olive oil, but you do have to slightly cook them. And then you can pressure can, or not even pressure can, you don't even have to pressure can, I don't think. You may be able to just water bath them. And then once you open them, they have to be refrigerated. But that's what I would go with for those artichokes. You can use them after on pizzas, all that sort of stuff. Similar to how you would store sun-dried tomatoes, for example. I love all the information. Thank you, Fairy. What was after the Jerusalem artichoke? I could have sworn there was, oh, there is. Johnny, I want to reuse my soil, but how do I know what the soil needs? You don't. So if you're using a potting soil, it's going to be hard to know what your soil needs, unless if you do like a soil test, which of course you can do. There's no reason why you can't. But keep in mind that it's pretty unlikely that you've depleted all the reserves within that potting soil in a season. So if it's under a year, then I wouldn't stress out about it too much. If you've used it for 2 grow cycles, then maybe something to think about. And so what you can do, depending on where you're at with your gardening or your houseplant or whatever the case is, you can either do conventional fertilizer. So if you do conventional, I would do a granular. I would also top up on your peat moss or your coconut coir, and then also your perlite if needed. Keep in mind, if you decide to go organic, you need to keep a microbially active potting soil. So potting soil, we notoriously think has to be sterilized because it's in an indoor environment. Plants and soil is anything but sterile. The moment you start talking about sterile soil, you are throwing away all the natural processes within that soil. And that goes for houseplants, that goes for indoor gardening, that goes for outdoor container gardening. You do not want sterile soil. Now, there are bad things in soil and there are good things in soil. And generally, it's a balance. So you're always going to have those bad things in your soil. What you need is the mechanisms to keep the good and the bad in balance. So things like adding nematodes, predatory mites, fungal heavy material such as mycorrhizal fungi. If you can get your hands on an inoculant or a leaf mold, which we talked about the other day. Potentially wood chips could be added to help increase more fungal activity. If we're talking more bacterial activity, we want to get more bacterial active soil, start adding things like compost and manure, things with really high C to N ratios to help nurture that. And once you add those good bacteria in, good fungi in, microbes in general, like little tiny bugs, big bugs, nitrifying, denitrifying bacteria, what will end up happening is you can do organic with no issues, and you will notice that you are going to have nutrient transfer. Just if you choose to go organic, you need to have microbially active soil. And to some people that grosses them out and they want sterile soil. If you want sterile soil, go for it, but then you can't do organic. You cannot add organic fertilizer to something like that. So, and the more organic products you put in, the better. So vermicompost, awesome. Compost, manure, add, switch it up every 6 months. Whenever you decide to replenish your soil, put a different source in, all that fun stuff. So I want to see if I can get into Instagram here real quick so I can get that podcast for you. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad. What if the roots are at the bottom of the pot poking out the sides, but the soil is still moist after a week? That maybe your pot is too wide. That's really odd. If your roots are sticking out the bottom, it's not a big deal, you guys. So like, for example, let me grab a plant behind me here. Let's give me a second. So this guy actually, look at, there's bad, evil fungi on this. I'm just kidding. And it doesn't, it's actually a good thing. So, yeah, anyways, white fungi. So this is actually, that fungi is a great example of just normal decomposition in potting soil. Turns out when you have organic material in a potting soil, it decomposes and turns into bioavailable nutrients for your plants. Surprise! So anyways, this is my dubia here. So why the roots hanging out the bottom don't matter. It's because this dubia here, who's actually in his original pot still, because I just got him like not too long ago. So he is in his original pot. If he was to grow at the bottom, but he's in a cover pot such as this one, I don't have to worry about the roots sticking out the bottom because it's not going to air prune in this scenario because it's not exposed to light. It's not exposed to high amounts of airflow. It's actually most likely exposed to moisture most of the time. So the root outer cuticle may develop a bit differently because it's in a different substrate by the time it passes the pot. But in this scenario, I'm not too worried about the roots coming out the bottom. It doesn't really faze me. This guy is like literally growing like a freaking weed. He really, really likes it in this window. But I'm sure you guys really want those close-ups. This guy is a Wilburgay Gray Hoya. Let me know in the comments down below if you know how to pronounce that. I don't. So he's in a slightly bigger pot. If his roots come out the bottom of this terracotta pot, which has a hole in the bottom and is very porous, that may be cause for concern because it's going to start air pruning itself. So what happens is when the roots get exposed to air, they'll die off. And this can actually be to the benefit sometimes. So when that apical meristem kind of fries off, what ends up happening is it breaks and it stimulates growth hormone to V or split. So what ends up happening is you end up with more root when it air prunes. And so air pruning is actually a good thing. And you can get air pruning pots specifically, but those garden socks that I did a video on not too long ago, that's going to encourage air pruning. And so that's a good thing because you have more moisture capture, you have more nutrient usage. And so you won't have to worry about root rot or overwatering or over fertilizing nearly as much because you have that extra root biomass. He's like literally stealing my microphone. So yeah, that's something to think about. Now, if we're talking about like a Rhaphidophora, the Adansonii, I guess the Syngonium monstera and any monstera, those have the ability to make air roots, and so they won't air prune themselves. They will just drive those roots out regardless of the surrounding atmosphere. And if it has moisture, they will survive. And if it has air, they're going to survive. The outer coating, again, is going to look different. If you've noticed, a water propagated monstera has like a whiter root. An air exposed, like an air root, almost kind of looks like a branch. It's very like fibrous looking, and it's all because of the environment that the plant's exposed to. So it actually will develop different cells to accommodate its surroundings and protect itself from its surroundings. So the reason why they get more of like a woody root is because it's exposed to more airflow. And that's its way of preserving moisture, but also if it does rain, still capturing some moisture. And those roots aren't particularly good at actually capturing moisture. They're pretty poor, but in torrential downpours where they're used to, they're actually pretty good at it. So, what else do we got here? I grow under light 12 hours a day. I check my plants. Yeah, so that's why he's So what Dave is saying, he waters once a week for a majority of his plants, but he runs his grow lights for 12 hours per day. And so I don't have all my plants under grow lights, actually. These are the select few that I do, but most of mine are not. So do you think topping a plant after transplanting stresses a plant in a bad way? No, if it's right after, no. If anything, it's probably going to help your plant if it's a little bit transplant stressed, because it's got less biomass to work with. And so what happens with transplant stress, normally, not always, but normally, the cause is root damage. So you've harmed the roots in a way that the turgor pressure has been affected. So turgor pressure is the plant cell, leaf cells' ability to hold water within the vascular bodies that are inside the cell. So they kind of look like giant water cushions within the cell. And so when our roots get damaged, that changes how the plant ultimately manages water and nutrients. And so transplant shock, actually removing flowers or removing foliage, is beneficial, because what ends up happening is, my dog's like moving that mirror. What ends up happening is your plant doesn't have to fight against gravity as hard to try to get that turgor pressure back up, despite the fact of not having the adequate root biomass that's functioning at this time to be able to deal with it. And so you could, in theory, prevent loss from your upper foliage if you do chop it, because if the plant can't keep the pressure up to keep the water rising up into that upper biomass, it's going to get limp. And if it gets limp, then ultimately what ends up happening is your plant struggles. That's kind of where that idea comes from. Honestly, if you have a plant that's going through transplant shock, or if you have a plant of value that you want to transplant you want it to transplant nicely without transplant shock, removing flowers and removing extra foliage in whatever capacity that may be for you is ultimately never a bad thing for most plants. There are some plants that would react negatively to that, but I would say the vast majority of would be totally fine with that scenario. So good questions, good questions. Okay, my planty heart. Hi from Arizona. Asked about Hoya seeds a few weeks back. Thanks for the info. I have them on a heat mat, still waiting for the first signs of life. Yeah, so the question there was Hoya seeds, or any tropical seed for that matter. They take a long time to germinate. That is just a fact. Peppers. Peppers take a long time to germinate, actually. So whenever you're having a plant that's taking a long time to germinate, seed-wise, you want to put heat either on top or below the plant. Now, you can get special heating mats for below the pot. Make sure you get special heating mats. When I was very young, I was like probably 12 or 13. I wasn't very old. You can ask my mom about it because my mom experienced it. I got a heat mat for my seedlings, and I put it on top of my dresser where I had my seeds. If you guys watched the Instagram post I made just not too long ago, it's kind of explaining my life story and how I got into plants and all that sort of stuff. And I said I used to have plants, reptiles, and fish floor to ceiling in my bedroom. And so this is one of those stories. So I had a dresser, and I put the heat mat that wasn't meant for seedling trays. It's meant for heating reptile aquariums. But I had that underneath a seedling tray. I was trying to start some seedlings. And I ended up burning not only the tray, but also my dresser. So make sure you get the stuff rated for the actual plastic plant trays. If you don't get that, you're going to burn your house down. So try to avoid that when possible. But if you add heat to a vast majority of seedlings, you will get action fast. Now, keep in mind, there are some seedlings that if you apply heat, you're going to get a leggy seedling. So, for example, if you did cabbage, it's a good one. you're going to end up with a plant that shoots like straight up right now. You don't want that. But tomatoes, peppers, a lot of exotics, Hoyas, eucalyptus, things like that. That is the plants that you want to ultimately put a heat mat under, because if you don't, you do run the risk of them potentially rotting. Some may still germinate, but you do run the risk of rotting because you do have to keep that moisture up. And I did a blog post or a video on this where I was explaining the anatomy of a seed and how soaking seeds can help with seed germination and why that is. And it's because there's a very tiny singular pore that you cannot see with the naked eye on every single seed. And when we soak it in water, it helps that seed get enough water into the starches to cause chemical reactions that ultimately start the germination process. So another thing that you could do, unfortunately in her case, or in their case, we didn't have, the seeds were already in the soil. So you can't just pick these seeds out after that point. You do have to deal with what you have in that scenario. So that would be applying heat, either from the top or from the bottom. And so next time, I would soak the seeds. This goes for cacti seeds, succulent seeds, you name it. If you're dealing with exotic seed or warm climate, South American crop seed, peppers, tomatoes, that's what you want to do for those scenarios. Absolutely, 100%. You'll end up with way better germination rates. But that looks like all the questions. So I think I'm gonna let you guys go. We're at 56 minutes, almost the whole hour. Like I said, sign up for that newsletter. Leave me a voice message on that podcast link if you want your voice to be heard on the Gardening Canada podcast with your question. And yeah, that's literally all I got for you. I'm literally gonna go work on more Gardening Canada stuff now. But this time I gotta figure out how to format a newsletter. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Where do we sign up? It's in the description. It's in the description. So you should be able to hit the description bar and then it'll say gardeningcanada.net/newsletter. That's where you sign up for the newsletter. And then below that, I believe it says join my voice call something. Hit that link and then record your voicemail. And you'll be good. Let's keep you up all night. I'm always up all night for you guys. You have no idea how much work it is. More bird. I've had to put her in a different room. People get so irritated with her sometimes. Anyone who's like not on this channel, like who's not a loyal subscriber, literally, if they like stumble on my channel in search, they'll be like, I'm never coming to this channel again. That bird's so irritating. So it's so sad. Poor Ella. And this is her oasis too, you guys. Like this is where she loves to be. This is her home. I remember talking about soaking, so I tried that on a couple plants prior, both are planted. Yeah, okay, so soaking's good. Yeah, soaking's gonna definitely help you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna probably set up this little light so I don't smash that light bulb. Like, look how sturdy this thing is. M-Heart, Amazon. If you guys wanna grab one, do it. I don't know what you'd do with them if you didn't have a YouTube channel. My poor neighbors probably think I'm crazy. My one neighbor actually asked me the one day when I was like in the backyard filming, and he's like, do you talk to yourself when you garden? I was like, no, that's filming a video. He's like, oh, that makes sense, because you were like stopping and then reading and then stopping and repeating yourself. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going crazy, I promise. I'm not crazy. Maybe like this much, as much as like a redhead can be normal, but no, I'm not nuts. I have a YouTube channel, I swear to God. And then he had to like Google it. I was like, check it out, Gardening Canada. Oh, actually, cool story. I worked really hard, like 90, probably like 9 months. I want to say nine or 10 months now I've been working on my blog. And for the longest time, I could not get it to rank. Like, you Google search Gardening Canada, it was not coming up. It was irritating me because obviously that's the whole name of the entire platform. And I was like, how am I supposed to help cold climate gardeners? how am I supposed to get my message out there if I can't even rank in Google search? And I had like 80 some articles. Anyways, I am number one, almost number one. I think maybe an ad is before me, but I am number one in the Google search. I am ahead of the Canadian Gardeners magazine. You have no idea how proud I am of it. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Anyways, that's because you guys actually. It's when you guys click on my links when I say like, check out my blog post. You guys click on the link and you interact with that page. Like makes me so happy because it actually helps me rank. And some of you have also shared my YouTube videos, shared my blog posts, and then posted them to Pinterest. Like, I don't know, anyone who's like a YouTuber or a blogger knows this, but I don't think your average person realizes, like, if you want to support someone's channel that you really enjoy, and like, there's obviously people who are out there for money and stuff, but like, if you have like someone genuine in your life that you want to support, share their content. Liking does obviously help the algorithm. Commenting helps probably more than liking. Subscribing literally means nothing, which is insane. Subscribers mean absolutely nothing. Sharing. I don't know why, but sharing a YouTube video or sharing a blog post, Google and the internet world just goes totally savage for that stuff, which is just crazy. And you guys do it so often because I can see in my analytics where my traffic's coming from. It's always you guys. It's never YouTube supporting me. It's never Facebook supporting me. It's never Google supporting. It's literally you guys. So I had to thank you so much because I think we're helping a ton of people from all sorts of walks of life. So we've got people who are just starting out that are on a really restricted budget. And then we have like absolute pros with glorious gardens. And there's like even some subscribers on here that have like forests, like food forests in their backyard, which is just insane. So we have all different walks of life. We're helping out all different sorts of people. I'm actually involved in 2 right now. I was like over time I've been involved in more, but community garden things. So like on my website, I have a statement and it's like, do you need help, or nonprofit, do you need help or support, blah, blah, blah. Feel free to support me, or feel free to contact me for some support. And so I've had community organizations reach out to me to help give them guidance on gardening. And I do it for free because I just want people to learn how to garden. I just want people to learn how to take care of plants. That's ultimately my only goal. I don't care if I make a dime or I lose a ton of money. I don't really care. But I've done one community garden in New York. By the way, all their community gardens are planted on top of asphalt. Mind blown, just crazy to me. But that was a challenge. And then one that I'm actually working on recently is I'm working on nonstop pretty much right now, is Pakistan. So in Karachi, Pakistan, they are trying to help women, stay-at-home moms in Karachi, Pakistan, in the poor communities, plant gardens on top of the roofs. And so fun fact, in Karachi, Pakistan, it's one of like the biggest cities in the world. Never heard of it before they reached out to me, but it's a freaking thing. And so they have a garden program where they're trying to teach these women how to grow fruits and vegetables on their rooftops. And they have their city is 99 or 98% cement. There's no soil, there's no plants, there's no trees. They don't have parks like we do here in Canada or in the US. They don't have lawns in their front yards. Like, that's just crazy to me. So they're trying to grow crops on the tops of roofs. And it's very, very hot there. Lots of plant diseases because of the humidity, because of the heat. It's right next to the ocean. So lots and lots and lots of challenges, but an awesome cause because these women can not only feed their families with that food, but they can actually make money off of this too. So apparently in Pakistan or Karachi, Pakistan, there's like a really, really rich elite group within that community, and they're bougie. And so they will buy things like microgreens or, special exotic peppers or locally grown eggplants, whatever the case is. So they're willing to pay big bucks for that fruit and vegetable. So the market is there. The market is there. It's just trying to get the dang crops to grow on very hot rooftops. Like, I'm talking 50 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Someone comment what that is in Fahrenheit. But like, I'm talking smoking hot. Smoking hot. So, just a fun fact to you guys. If you ever go check it out, it's Kaui, Karachi Agricultural Institute. I'll share the link. I got them on Facebook and Instagram. They got a Facebook and an Instagram. They also have a YouTube, but it's in Urdu, or is that what they speak? I think it's Urdu, what they speak in Pakistan. I don't quote me on that. Remember, I'm book smart, so I'm pretty confident it's Urdu. I'm not street smart though. So long as you remember that this entire time. Thank you. Congrats on your marriage. I saw the live feed. I was so confused at the beginning. Someone commented on the live feed and was like, I could have sworn it said weeding. It wasn't weeding, it's wedding. It's so funny you say that, Francis, because I like literally posted this thing and I had my friend's husband filming it for me. Like, one of my bridesmaids' husbands was filming it for me. And I was like, yeah, just like go on Google Live or go on YouTube Live and then just like stream it and it's fine. Completely blanked on telling him to put it on private, like totally forgot. So it was public. Anyways, it was so funny because I was like, how did it go? And he's like, there was lots of live chat. And I was like, oh my God. You just broadcasted it to 17,000 people. But that's okay. I'm totally fine with it. I left it live too. Like, I didn't even switch the thing on it because I knew that you guys, like, loyal subscribers and stuff, you guys are going to enjoy something like that, right? I'm going to create other social media accounts to share you. Oh, that's so funny. Just started a food forest this year. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I was a ton of help. What was I there digging the holes? I don't think so. Oh, that sounds awesome. Mulberries, hazelnuts, red oak, black locust. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sending you love from Scotland. How? That is like, that's where my ancestors are from. I did like a 23andMe thing. If you guys are in 23andMe, add me. I think it's just Ashley Lebrecq, I'm pretty sure. Add me on there. Let's see if we're related. I'm from the Highlands of Scotland and the Midlands, I think. It's what my thing. And I'm from one area in France, literally one. So like obviously Lebrecq's French. So my dad's like full blood French. I'm from like Isles de la something in France. Like literally like this one little spot in Paris. Like right, it's just ridiculous. I'm from nowhere else but that one little spot in Paris. And I also have German in me too. That's my grandparents. They're Heilmans. Thank you for your effort. Oh! Love this. Thank you for your support and sharing those efforts in Karachi. Yes, Urdu is the national language. Yeah, okay. Kind of what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it, love it, love it. They're having some fungal issues right now. But yeah. It feels weird to talk to yourself when you're making videos. That is accurate. It takes some time. I was doing it long before I had imaginary friends when I was a little girl. I had a great aunt that was a nun, and she told my mom I needed an exorcism because I had a friend, literally. Just shared on Twitter. Yes, Twitter, sending planty vibes from PEI. Hello, PEI. It is later there. Ile de France. Yes, that is exactly where my family's from. You are correct, David. PEI is an amazing place. It is. Share Canada. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go now. My back is starting to hurt. Ever since I got in my car accident, I like can't like stand or sit or do anything for like long periods of time. I have to like move or change my position. It's all my lower back too. Anyways, I'm probably just getting old is the problem. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm sure all 22 of you that are left are already subscribed, so not too worried about that. You know, leave a comment, sign up for that newsletter, sign up leave me a voice message for the podcast. That'd be very, very helpful. And I'm going to go edit some videos and do that newsletter. I will talk to you guys later, next time, sometime, at some point. Oh, and stay tuned on both the community tab and Instagram and Facebook, wherever you are. I'm doing a few live streams with Lee Valley here in the next little bit. You guys want to show your support. It's quite a big company. Always nervous about it, but yeah, it will feel better. I just like literally have to sit. Like I just have to move and then it goes away. It's the weirdest thing. Give, like, and share. Yes, exactly. Okay, I love you guys so much. You are all so, so, so awesome. Love you all, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.